What's going on, Geminites? GemMint here. I'm super excited because we have the PCS Collectibles Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles quarter scale statue. We're going to do an unboxing and a review, so stay tuned. Alright, man, so this was funny because this shipped and got to my house right when I left to go to New York for Comic-Con. I saw this piece along with Donatello and Michelangelo at Comic-Con, and I was like, damn, I just want to get home and unbox mine. So it came in. This is number 94 out of 250 for the exclusive. So very low edition size. I really love how these pieces look, so let's go ahead and unbox them. Alright, I figured they would have a pretty cool art box for this thing, so they got like the brick on the outside, which is kind of like the design for the 80s action figures. Of course, you have the actual statue art on here. Should have went with the old school Turtles logo, but that could have been a Nickelodeon thing. Anyway, I'm glad to see the box looks like it's in decent shape. The shipper has some dings on the corners. So let's go ahead and open them up, and let's do a sky view. We'll take out the pieces and kind of inspect them one by one and hope that nothing's damaged and that there's no QC issues. Alright, so PCS using still the black straps, which I really like. Here is the certificate of authenticity, which is a PCS thing that they've always done, even though it's under new management. Like I said, 94 out of 250. And they still provide the white gloves, which I should have used for that Optimus Prime, because I think I got a fingerprint on it. Anyway, like I said, I like the straps way better than the tape. Alright, let's go. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Raph. Wow, he's pretty heavy, pretty solid piece. Alright, very cool. Huge piece, right? I mean, you wouldn't think like an animated series piece would be quarter scale like this. I think it looks awesome. Alright, he looks pretty good. What do we have here? Looks like, oh, just like a piece of the base. Got one of his hands with the sai. Doesn't seem to be metal. Looks good though. I thought he was giving the finger at first, but he's only got 2 fingers and a thumb. Alright, so that's one hand. You know, I have a theory about Ninja Turtles. I think when you're a kid, most kids like Michelangelo because he's the funny guy, he's the party dude. And as you get older, you tend to lean toward Raphael, who's always kind of in a bad mood and has an attitude. I think Raph is probably my favorite turtle right now, but definitely was a Mikey fan as a kid. I like Leo, but he was always too much kind of like a straight arrow kind of guy, and then I was never a Donatello guy ever. Alright, what is this? Okay, the back of his bandana. Video got cut off there, so yeah, that was just the bandana, which has nice shading to it. Look, it's not just all red, it's got these like shadows, you know, airbrushed into it. That looks good. Looks like he has a couple other set of hands here without him giving the finger. He's got the sai in his fist there. Alright, looking good. And it looks like it might be the last hand here. Same as the other one. Alright. All right, there goes a portrait. I love it. Looks just like the cartoon, man. Whoever sculpted this, I think I met the sculptor at Comic-Con. I forget his name. I'll have to put it up on the screen here, but he killed the likeness of it, man. It looks exactly like the cartoons. So he had that kind of face where you could see his teeth and his mouth a little bit. Let's see how the other portrait looks. So kind of similar. So he doesn't have a smile portrait. Actually, yeah, very similar. The Donatello and Michelangelo have a smile portrait, but Raph, he don't smile. All right, a couple more small pieces, and then we'll take out the base and get this thing assembled. Here's the R to his belt. This must be pieces of the base or something. Yeah. All right, so we'll just do this off camera. All right, lastly, let's take out this base. The base is like a robotic kind of enemy from either the Technodrome, one of Shredder's, or Krang's. Maybe it was from Dimension X. But it's that white type of, almost has a Mouser vibe to it. Looks like it has some residue from the factory still. We'll have to get out the makeup brush for this bad boy. Yeah, we'll just need to dust them off. Here's the bottom. Let's start getting them together. All right, guys, we got all the pieces of Raph out on the table here. I can't find my little makeup brush for this thing. All right, so let's get him on the base. So he just has one peg here. All right, sits nice and flush. Let's go ahead and clip on his little belt buckle there with the R on it. You know, that was like an afterthought. When they originally came out in the comics in the 80s, this was by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. They all were red. They didn't have the different colors. So when they were pitching this to make a cartoon out of it and a toy line, they thought that they needed to differentiate each of the characters, right? So they put their first letter on their belt buckle, and then they ended up changing the colors of them. All right, let's put on some hands. Ninja Turtles is like one of the first things that I was ever into as a kid. Like, I remember that cartoon came on, and that theme song, it was so iconic. And I just was, that was like the longest thing that I've been into, Turtles. Along with like every other kid in the 90s, right? All right, let's get some of these little pieces on here, and then we'll take a closer look at Raph, man. I know these little pieces are going to be a pain. I have to fast forward through this thing. So these are color-coded, though. So this is purple. That's going to go right here. All right, then we got yellow. We got a green and an orange. All right, so there goes Raphael with the fingers out look. This is with mean face number 1. So let's switch it out now. We'll do mean face number 2, and we'll do the other switch out hands. So this one has less teeth than that portrait. And of course you could switch them out like this, so it's not the same hand position. I can't believe I didn't have a turtle shirt to do for this review, man. I'm slipping. So that's actually a cool look because it changes the position of the hands. Face very similar, but how are you going to give Raph a happy face? You can't. He's not happy. All right, cool, man. I'm loving it. I mean, it's quarter scale. It's got a great size to it. It's got a simple paint app, which I think works. It's not cel shaded like the Transformers line because it has shadowing and airbrushing, but it's very much the animated series original cartoon, not that 3D stuff that these kids watch these days. And they really nailed it. The likeness is spot on. So let's do a little review. We'll start at the bottom at the base. Like I said, you have this kind of robotic base. Looks like the Technodrome, same color scheme. So it's probably just one of those enemies that you beat them up from like the video games or from the cartoon, right? Now, the paint does look a little rough here on the bottom back. So I was a little bit surprised with that, but you're never going to see it. It's in the back, and I don't know. It just looks a little rough. I don't know why it looks like that. But you have a simple kind of rock base with the rest of the robotic piece looks like it's painted well, right? It's sculpted well, it's painted well. Moving up to Raph, like I said, it's spot on. The paint looks good. He's got a nice shade of green to him. I'm looking at the lines on the knees, and it all looks good. The wraps on his wrists and his elbows look good. The shell's painted good. I do see a little bit of an issue on the side here, where it looks a little rough. But, you know, it's a statue. It's not perfect. It's not a deal breaker for me. I don't mind that the sides aren't metal. I don't think they're metal, at least. They feel polystone or whatever, or resin. I think they look just fine. He does have a neck seam. I think if you're putting this high up, you're going to see it more than if it was down low. But I guess they couldn't. I would have preferred one portrait and it didn't come off. Like PCS has done that in the past with like some of their Street Fighter statues. I would have actually preferred that, but it would have been a seam in the other ones because I like how they give the other turtles an option for a mean face or a happy-go-lucky face. Let's go ahead and get some close-ups on Raph. Let's bring back the close-ups. You know, someone was saying, let's bring back the close-ups here like I used to do. And I was kind of like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's get in nice and tight here with the 4K on Raph. As you can see, he looks great. Especially from a distance, right? When I have him like this, especially with the other turtles, it's going to look incredible. Let's go down here to the base. You can see, painted great. I like that solid white cartoon look to it. This plugged in looks good. Got a little crack sculpted in. This is the only part that I felt looked sloppy. Look at the paint on that. Something was lacking right there, but like I said, it's on the back and it's not a deal breaker. I need to dust this off too. It has see what I'm saying? Need to find my little makeup brush. Those are the pieces that I keyed in on the back. Look at his feet. So he sits nice and flush. No problems there. You can see the line work looks good on those knees like I was mentioning. Everything looking good here. So see, like if you have him like this, you'll probably notice that seam more. You can see the seam on his neck right here. You know, I heard somebody say somewhere that all green statues have a neck seam curse. It happens with Hulks, looks like turtles. But you know, if you have them displayed like this, you'll never know that. You'll never notice it. Man, Raph is popping on this camera. So like I said, painted well on the shell there. Nice shading even around the belt. Oh yeah, let me show this one other nitpick I have. Up in there, you can see it looks... Oh, let me just focus in. See, it looks a little like sloppy there, similar to that piece on the base that I was talking about. I love the piece, but, you know, just want to point it out to you guys. Not a deal breaker for me, though. I love this line. I don't know if I put that in right or not. Yeah, so I guess the difference is that he has his left or his right eye open a little bit more and his teeth are showing a little bit more on this other portrait. Plus the bandana is positioned slightly different. Oops. Got a little too tight. I love that scene from Secret of the Ooze. Hey, there's Raph. Yeah, a little too Raph. All right, yo. So, guys, like I said, I just came back from New York Comic Con. I talked to PCS. They had, like I said, Michelangelo and Donatello. Donatello also ships this month, so very excited to be able to get these in quick. And what I found out was that Leonardo is going to be the last statue that comes out for this line. So as many as they can cram in between Leonardo and Raphael, which is the first one, is going to determine, what's in the line. Basically, if you see Leo come, the line is over, which is a shame because from what I was told, they have plans for Shredder, Krang, and it sounds like they want to do Krang in his body because they were saying that him in his body is only a little bit taller than Shredder. Bebop and Rocksteady are ones that are being heavily considered, if not being planned right now. And he would love to do a Foot Soldier and April O'Neil, which, I don't know. I'm not that crazy about April, but, I would get every single other one, so I probably would get her. But, it's up to us, man. If these things don't sell, this line's going to end sooner than later. And I want to see an animated series Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't know about y'all. I would love, my ultimate would be a Slash. That's like my favorite character from the franchise. So I'm doing my part. Paid for this with my own money. Donatello's coming, like I said, this month too. And I'm going to pre-order Raph. I'll probably use some rewards points or some kind of a gift card to put toward it. This hobby gets expensive, guys. But I definitely love this piece. I think they really killed it. My childhood coming to life here. I got a new little statue display I'm working on that will put him out there. And I want to hear what you guys think about this line. The price was $500. I think so was Donatello, and Michelangelo was $550, and he is a little bit more of an elaborate piece. He has like a nunchuck with a switch out pizza box, also 2 portraits. So think about it. It's quarter scale piece. You have switch out arms and portraits. And it's $500. So Sideshow piece is like, this is distributed by Sideshow, and a lot of their PFs are creeping up to that, $600, $700 price point. So I think that these are reasonably priced. And they're dope, man. Alright, guys, like I said, let me know what you think about Raphael in the comments below. Make sure to drop that like on the way out. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you hit the bell so you get notified every time we drop something new, because we drop daily content, sometimes multiple videos a day. Make sure to go check out all the New York Comic Con 2019 footage that we put out. A lot of great stuff, a lot of cool people that we interacted with. And consider becoming a member of GemMint Collectibles. You hit that join button next to the subscribe to get behind-the-scenes content, early access to videos, and more. And stay minty fresh. Peace.